What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a special tale of sorts for you about fragrances. My tale is one of having a terrible allergy, overcoming said allergy, getting scammed, and coming out victorious on the other end. And you see, the whole thing starts when I was born, okay? It was a stormy night in September 1989. Okay, I'm kidding. We're not gonna go through all that, but for real, I was born with a fragrance allergy. Had it all my life. I've discussed it forever here on the channel in past videos. Fragrances, to make it short, make my throat close up, and it's incredibly annoying. Incredibly annoying. For that reason, I have hardly ever dabbled in fragrances, colognes, etc., etc. The last couple of years, however, through various projects, I've become more and more aware of different fragrances. You know, just kind of, I've kind of been seeing stuff in passing almost, like, oh, hey, what's that? Let me try it. Oh, what's that? You like that? Let me try that too. You know, just kind of trying to see what I can tolerate. One fragrance specifically kept catching my attention. Viking by Creed. It just kept catching my attention because, people would talk about it and then I would look at it up close and I would, just try it out, and what I kept noticing was, for some reason, whatever reason, I can't even explain it, to be honest, whatever reason, I could basically tolerate it. This, was kind of perplexing to me. I began experimenting with trying to actually wear it. I got a little tester vial of it. I wasn't going to get a full-size bottle because it's just, with my luck, I'd completely stop being able to tolerate it after spending all that money. So I got a little tester of it, and no, I can't even explain it. It works out. It worked out. I could wear it. I could tolerate it really well, which was very exciting for me. This is where the story starts to turn, though. You see, my wife decided the following September, last September, for my birthday to buy a full-size bottle of Creed Viking. Super awesome of her, right? Neither of us had ever bought one before, obviously. So, she went looking online and she ended up buying one from this app called Whatnot. Yes, I know, you don't have to say it. I am now up to speed on that thing, but long story short, she got one and ended up being fake. I know, super disappointing. It was then, that I was educated on how many people are actually selling fakes out there and how important it is to find a reputable vendor to buy your fragrances from. And for the record, I'm not saying everybody on Whatnot's a scammer. That's not what I'm saying. You can find some stuff there. What I'm saying is I don't particularly take the chance anymore because I found out about a really great place that we're going to talk about today. This is Lux Perfumes. They started in 2024 specifically to cut out overpriced retailers and sell the same authentic products you'd find at big department stores, with the difference being that they give you a fair, honest price. I was also able to talk a little bit with their owner, Brennan, and he's a really cool guy. And I don't know about you guys, but I prefer to give my money to places that have cool people behind it. That's just, if I can help it, I think that's the route that I prefer to go. The other thing that I obviously noticed was they have a guarantee of authenticity. All of their stuff is inspected for authenticity, which, again, after talking to their owner and, doing my own digging, I was pretty convinced that this was a good bet to take. And another thing that I noticed was they don't play the phony discount game. Their prices are lower than retail because they don't inflate them to begin with. And that's something that I absolutely love personally. I mean, that means you're often getting the same exact fragrance for way less. They also have a huge variety of things on their site, which I'm showing you here. And then, of course, I will leave a link down below so you can check them out for yourself. But of course, I did get a Viking from them. And I do wish I still had the fake one in my possession, but I don't have it. There's a long story there. I'll spare you guys for all that. But I do want to show you guys this one up close. You can see Creed has some incredible packaging. And now that I've had a fake one in my hands and a real one in my hands, it's night and day. I wish I could somehow translate that via video, but just having it in your hands honestly speaks volumes. And again, this is a bottle from Lux. It has everything you want to see in a legit bottle. It's all there. Everything that comes inside the box. I even left the plastic on it so we could unwrap it together. And obviously, it smells amazing. If you haven't yet tried Viking, by the way, I'm sure a lot of you already have. I was pretty late to the game, but if you haven't, for whatever reason, I highly recommend it. Obviously, though, the moral of my story is to buy from a reputable dealer. And I've definitely had some people say to me, like, really? Whatnot? Like, what did you expect? And that's fair. It's absolutely fair. But at the same time, if it happened to me, I think it could happen to anyone. So my goal for this video was to make sure people know, one, to be on the lookout, which I'm sure a lot of you already are. A lot of you are already privy to the fakes out there. But, either way, it's worth it to say. 2, to give you the best place I've seen thus far. I just tried to combine those 2 words. The best place I've seen thus far, which is Lux Perfume. They have a great selection. They have great prices. Their shipping is super fast. They're 100% authentic. Once again, they have a really cool owner too. It's always a bonus to have a really cool owner, which again is just the cherry on top for me. I think that's always cool when you got cool people behind a brand. But once again, if you haven't yet tried Viking, you definitely should. I mean, they have it. Go check it out. You can try something else from Creed. You know, I'm kind of exploring it. You know, actually, that leads me into the next question. What do you think I should try next? Kind of in the same vein. I'm a little nervous to venture outside the vein, but then again, I never thought something like Creed Viking would work for me. So I really have no idea what's going to work for me next. I have been getting a little bit more into Creed. You know, I've got the Aventus. That one also does well some days. You know, most days I'm able to tolerate it. Some days I'm still kind of struggling with it. I do like Viking a tiny bit more, to be honest, but I do have that one. I've got Sauvage as well, and so far I'm able to mostly tolerate that one, but maybe this could turn into a new fun adventure for us here. So let me know what you think. Let me know which ones that you liked if you tried the ones I just mentioned. Also, a link to Lux, once again, is in the description there. They are incredible. I highly recommend you try them out. That, though, is it for today. Thanks so much for joining me here and listening to my fragrance tale, my victorious tale of tolerating fragrance allergy problems. I don't know. I'm going to close this out because I have nothing else left to say. Thanks so much for joining me here. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.